Hey everyone, welcome to the Knit and Crochet Spot. My name's Melissa and I'm coming to you from the suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia. Today is Sunday, February 27th. I hope everyone is doing well. If you're new here, I'd like to say welcome and let you know that this channel is about knitting and crochet and yarn. And if you're returning, I'd like to say welcome back. So today I have 3 finished objects and 3 works in progress to share with you. So my first finished object is a knit hat. So here it is. This was a works in progress the last time I podcasted, and now it is finished. This was a fun and easy and quick knit. I enjoyed making this. This is a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's called the Copycat CC Beanie by Emily Ingrid. So there it is. I'll take it off the mannequin head. I love how it came out, and I love how it looks. So there is that finished object. And the yarn that I used is, here's the label. It is a Loops and Threads Impeccable. This is a yarn you get from Michaels. Here's the label, and this is what I have left. Let's see. It is 190 yards. 85 grams. It's a number 4. It is 97% acrylic, 3% other fibers. And let's see, the colorway is charcoal tweed. And this is made in India. So I have this left. And I used, on the brim, I used a 4.5 millimeter knitting needle, and then for the body of the hat I used a 5 millimeter. And it did ask you to do a provisional cast on the pattern, but I didn't want to go through all that, so I just did a regular long tail cast on, and I just did a regular, well, I did a one by one ribbing. So there is that finished object. And then my second finished object, let me move this out of the way, are a pair of socks. I love these. They're beautiful. Here they are. I got them both done. So this was a works in progress the last few times. But they're finished. I'm in love with them. Oh, I'm absolutely in love with them. And they match. Because if you've been watching me for any length of time, you know that I like to have matching socks. So there they are. I love them. So this is just a vanilla sock. I'll try to run through real quickly how I do my socks. I cast on 64 stitches. I do cuff down on magic loop 2.25 or 32-inch cord. So this is 15 rows. The body of the sock is about between 90 and 100 rows. I did an afterthought heel on this, and then just this toe, I don't know what it's called, and but I Kitchener the end of it. And so that's how I do my socks. I think that's everything. So the yarn that I used for the striping part, I used Nomadic Yarns. This is on the Stupid Cupid colorway on the trusty sock base, 462 yards for 100 grams, 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. And this is what I have left. I have this much left. And the heel, I used this yarn here. This is a Knit Picks yarn. It's Stroll Fingering in the colorway Mint, 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon, 231 yards. This is 50 grams. And it is, I think that's it. This is made in Peru. So, they're so pretty. I love them. And now I can wear them because I've shown you. Alrighty. And I have one more finished object. And I don't think I showed this last week. I didn't work on it. Excuse me, but I did work on it this week and got it finished. And it's this cowl right here. The last time I showed, I can't remember which is, I don't know which way is, I don't think it matters, but I don't know if it goes this way or I don't know if it goes that way. But anyway, where this marker is where I was, and so I did the rest of it. I think that's kind of like about halfway. So I got this finished. I'm very happy with it. I liked it in the back, and I haven't blocked this yet, or, you know, soaked it and blocked it, or even just laid it out or anything. I haven't done that yet, but I like how on the back, it's right here is the seam, or not really a seam, where you start the, where you start a new row, and really you can't tell, and I have a feeling, and I'm hoping when and if I do block it, it'll even show less, so you can't even really tell. So I'm really, really happy with that. The pattern for this is the Believer Cowl. And this is a paid-for pattern on Ravelry. And it's by Catherine. I don't want to butcher her last name, but there's her last name. She also has a podcast on YouTube. It's Catherine Crochets. So there is that. This is Tapestry Crochet. And I ended up using a 4mm, what's in here? A 4mm crochet hook. Yeah, 4mm. And so there's that. I'm really happy with it. Well, I mean, it did come out a tiny bit smaller than I thought, but it fits, like, it's real close to your neck, which I kind of prefer that. Not that I wear these too often. These, I live in Georgia. It doesn't really get that cold. So, but, I would prefer it to be up nice and snug, and maybe when I do block it, although I don't really think it needs to be, but eventually it'll have to be washed or something. Maybe it'll stretch a bit, get a little bigger. So there's that. And let's see, I think that's it. Oh, the yarn. Yes, the yarn. So these are the yarns that I'm using. And this is the Gazelle Rock and Roll I got from Hobium. I don't know. There's just colorways, and I can't remember which label belongs, which colorway number belongs with which, ball of yarn. I'm not sure. But anyway, the yarn is 21% acrylic, 70% polyamide, 9% Lana Merino. Each ball is 50 grams for 125 yards. And I think this pattern, it called for DK weight yarn. And this doesn't say anywhere on here. Maybe it does on the website, but Hobium, I don't always trust their sizing of yarns, but I think this is a DK. It worked out fine. So I used a ball, and so I used one 50-gram ball, and then a bit of the second one. This is what I have left of the second one. And then I used just one ball of this color, and this is what I have left of this color. So it, you know, so it was a ball and a bit of this, and then like less than a ball of this to make it. Did that make sense? And let's see, this yarn is made in Turkey. I think that's it about the yarn. So there's that finished object. And there's all my finished objects. So on to whips. So I will start with, so I'm making the matching hat that goes with this. And I've just started it. I should be farther along, but I'm not. I had to start over a few times. I'll show you what I have done so far. See, this is all that I have done. And that's it. And that is it. And this is what the hat will look like when it's finished. When I paid for the pattern, and I got both. I got both patterns. So I paid one price and got these two patterns. And I'm doing it the way you see how I'm switching the colors for the hat. So the main color on this one was, or let me show you this one here. So the main color on this one is this this darker color, and this was the contrasting color, the pink color. So on the hat, I'm going to do the opposite, and that's what they, if you look at the pictures, that's what they've done, or what she's done on this. Yeah, so I'm using all the same yarn, and this is what I have so far. And I had to start it over a couple times because first, because I thought that the cowl came out a little small, I went up a hook size thinking that, you know, well, I just thought maybe it would help, maybe make the hat a little bigger because you chain less stitches for the hat than you do the cowl. So I used, on the cowl, I used 4mm. So for the hat, I first started out with a 4.5mm. And then looking at the, it just didn't look very good, you know, the stitches didn't look good. They were too loose, they were too far apart. You could see the other colors and stuff. So I said, okay, so I pulled it out, and this yarn, if you just have to pull, it's really nice to work with, and if you have to pull out like a couple stitches or whatever, it, you know, it's not really any problem, but like pulling out the whole thing, the foundation chain, everything, I ended up having to waste that yarn. So then I went ahead back to the 4mm, and I cast, you know, I chained the stitches and everything, and I joined it together, and I did the second row or whatever, and realized I had twisted this. So I had to start over again. So I should be, but now it's okay, it's good. So I'm wondering though, because, oh, hang on, I gotta get a drink. When I did the cowl, I used a clover hook, a 4mm clover hook, and it came out this size, and I thought it was a little, you know, a little small. So, but when I went to do the hat, I wanted to use my new tulip hooks that I got, and so I used the 4.5, and it was way too big, and the stitches looked terrible. They looked terrible. So I used a 4mm in the the tulip hook, and the hat, it came out really well. So I'm just wondering, if my tension is looser with the tulip hook than what it is with the clover hook. I'm wondering, because this is perfect, really, the hat, for a hat. It's perfect. So did any of that make sense? Anyway, so that is my first works in progress. I have it in the same bag that I had the cowl in. This is the Frog Peak Creations bag. And my second one, I'm just going to show you this really quick because I didn't really work on it that much. I just didn't feel like it. And I keep showing it. It's getting large and it's just a pain in the butt. But this is it's my Stephen West shawl, living in my Cottontail Farms bag. I'm just going to show it a little bit because I don't want to get it all out. And I'm not going to go through the yarns or anything. But anyway, I worked on it, so I want to show it. So this is the Cabled Trellis Shawl by Stephen West. And I only did like, I don't know, 4 rows maybe. So I'm just going to show a little bit of what I did. That's what I did. So, oh, see, and everything's going everywhere. And so this is it. This is the shawl. Just a few rows. A little bit so you can see what it's looking like. And these are the yarns I'm using for that. And these are the 2 new skeins that I will be starting shortly because the other 2 are getting small. This is what I have left of the main color. And the other one just fell on the floor. I haven't got much of that one either, so I'll be starting both of these soon. And I'm getting a little nervous about this because the main color says you need like 500 grams. So these 2 skeins equal 500 grams. And I'm not so much worried about this because I have a bit more of this on the skein that just fell on the floor. And then I have all of this. But I'm worried I'm going to run out of this because I still have half the shawl to do. I still have half of this to do. And I'm just worried this isn't going to... I did look on her website. This is I don't want to say it wrong. It's Apothecary Fabrications. She does still sell this yarn, but I bought this a long time ago, so I don't know how close it would be to this. I don't know if that would bother me or not, but I don't know why I'm worrying about it now, but I am, and I don't really want to spend $30 just for a tiny bit to finish the shawl. Anyway, so there's that shawl. There is that, and hopefully I'll work on it this week. I don't know, I just didn't feel like it. Probably because I was thinking too much about running out of yarn. I don't know why I'm worrying about that. It might not even be close to happening. So I have one more works in progress to share with you, and it is a pair of socks, and it is not the purple pair of socks that I showed last time. It's another pair of socks. I didn't work on the purple socks. I worked on a different pair of socks. He's actually doing a patterned sock, which I don't normally do. This is the Austin Socks by Kay Litton, which is the Crazy Sock Lady. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. And I did show this sock quite a few episodes ago, and I hadn't worked on it since. But I put some work into it. And here it is. So this is, let's get this right. So this is the front of the sock. I put these in every time because it's a 14 row repeat. So every time I start a new repeat, I put a stitch marker in, so I'll know when I do my next sock how many repeats I've done. So here's the back of the sock. That's where I was last time. And I've put in the heel. I'm doing the heel flap and gusset that it calls for. I'm almost done with my decreases. I normally do afterthought heel. This took me forever to do this. An afterthought heel is very simple and very quick compared to this. I'm still not done with the heel, or technically the heel flap and gusset. Yeah, I'm still not done with it. This took me so long to do. Well, also because, you know, I don't do it that often, so I have to look at a pattern to do it. I just like looking at it. So you can't see the pattern. Well, I mean, you can. I really think it helps this yarn. In person, you can see it for sure. I just think it really... I think it looks good. So there is that. And everything's the same. I do the same. Well, no, obviously this is a pattern, but I still think I did. I still think this is 15 rows. It's a 2x2 rib for 15 rows. I can't remember what she called for, if that was any different. And, yep, and I'm doing a little bit of a longer leg. But I did one less repeat because I don't want it too long. And obviously a heel flap and gusset. It'll be nice. I'll only have 2 ends to weave in. That'll be nice. But it's on 2.25, same as my other sock. And this is the yarn that I'm using. This right here. And this is Living in a Tea Doddles bag. I have a dry throat. So this yarn is Superba Vintage. It's made in Turkey. Here's the label. I'll give you a good look at the label. I don't know if it has a colorway or not. There's a... Yeah, I'm not sure. There's something on here that says something, but it's kind of cut off. I don't know. Anyway, so it is 100 grams, 420 meters. It is 75% a virgin wool and 25% polyamide. And everything is in such little handwriting. And I think it's by Rico Designs. And I don't know what the colorway is. But here it is. That's what I have left. So, yep, almost done with the decreases. And then I just don't... I wish I had just... No, I'm glad I did it. I wanted to follow it. So I thought, well, if I'm following a pattern, you know, I'm going to follow, you know, all the pattern. Well, most of the pattern. I don't think I did, you know, I made a few changes. But there is that sock. And this yarn is splitty, and it's not as soft as like this yarn, but I'm still really enjoying knitting with it. It's nice and light, and I'm liking it. And these here, these are my Addie Rockets, which I love for knitting socks. So that's it. That is all I have to share with you today. I don't have any acquisitions. I do, but they haven't come in the mail yet. I ordered something from, I think it's is it the Barrett Wool Company by Susan B. Anderson? I ordered something from there, and then I ordered some knit picks. They had a sale on their Wool of the Andes yarn. So I got a sweaters quantity because it was like really cheap. So that'll be coming in soon. So I'll probably show that in my next podcast. I don't think it's enough to make an entire episode on its own. So have that coming up. Yep, I didn't work on my amigurumi. We'll hopefully get back to that this week. I wanted to get the socks finished because I have 3 pairs of socks going. I hardly ever do that. I really don't like doing that. And I wanted to get that hat done because it's for my daughter. And the cowl, I wanted to get that done because, well, I wanted to crochet. I love crocheting. And I haven't got I could have done the amigurumi, but I wanted to crochet. And so I just thought, well, I'm going to finish that. And then I decided to do the hat because what else is going to go with that cowl? So I thought, well, I have to make the hat so that it, has something to go with it. Okay, guys, I will see you soon. I hope you all have a great week. And that's about it, guys. So until the next episode, bye for now.